Hey, it's CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. It is time for me uh, to go take a walk, really. It's about 9:30. If I can kill about an hour or so out here doing a health walk, then by the time I get home, it'll be time for me to, start my diet numbers, my counts all over again, and that's the goal for right now. I don't want to eat until uh, midnight. November 2nd. That's kind of cool. I'm in Shreveport, downtown, across the Red River. It's beautiful, Bossier City, Louisiana. And if you're on my channel frequently, you know that I take this walk a lot. So I'm going to segue over. I'm going to go a little different and I'll walk over through. I know what I'll do. I'll walk over down in front of the studio, the G Unit studio, right here, and I'll kind of walk through the park, and I'll kind of walk through. I'll show you a little of this area that I haven't done before. Normally, I'll just go straight up Texas Street. I think I'll take a little detour, uh, and just check stuff out. Um, why am I doing the walk? Well, I want to occupy myself. I'm not hungry, but I don't want to eat because I'm bored either. That's something else that, when it comes to dieting and stuff like that, sometimes people just, that bored snacking thing that people do, just grab a celery, or if you're lucky, most people grab like chips or junk food or something like that and have a snack even when they're not hungry, just out of boredom. And so I'm gonna do something else, like come out and have like a walk that's good for my health. Need to maybe think about a little color, getting a little tan or something before I go to Florida. It is so excited. It's almost time for me to go take that trip. I leave on the 18th, so it's the 10th, so, or the 11th. I don't know, whatever. I don't know. It's close. I'm so excited. And then, of course, I got really excited because I saw the cruise on the 20th through the 23rd. There was a spot that opened up, and as I was trying to book that spot on the cruise for those few days, just that fast, someone else got the room before I could get it. Oh my God. And I'm just gonna have to deal with the consolation of being on that same boat for 18 days instead of, but what's cool about it, I'm going to get to see a couple of places that I haven't seen, but most of it's going to be, most of the destination's going to be on Celebration Key. And what's cool about that is there's like 5 or 6 different sections on that island currently to explore. And so each time that I go there, I'll get to see a different part of the island, the private island. So that's kind of cool. So let's see. I talked with my assistant manager today about the problems that I've had with the payment app. It's a website where we go to pay our rent, and for the last couple of months it hasn't worked. Now what I've noticed is that the accounting is contrary to what is actually there. Like what the accounting is skewed compared to what it used to be, and maybe that's what's going on. Maybe the system's noticing a contradiction or something like that, or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, there's definitely some information that has not been updated or corrected or something. There's a section that talks about there's a history of the rent and the rent adjustments and the rent amounts as it's increased since the history that I've been in this apartment over the last 4 years. And it's not entirely accurate. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. I'll talk with her about it later. But I did talk with her and said, well, you know, if you didn't want the rent, and I told them if you don't want it early right now, I'm going to be leaving at the end of the week, basically. And what I'll do is I'll pay the rent remotely through the app if you guys have it working, and then if not, I'll just have to pay it when I come back. And of course, I you know, they don't. I'm not paying late fees. I've let them, you know, home office and everything like that. Listen, if the payment app or the payment tool on the website is not resolved, and I'm not in town, I'm not going to be able to walk into your office and give you a money order. So you're going to have to wait till I come back. But I've given enough notice, and for several months, that payment tool should be working. So one way or another, I should not be expected to even think about paying a late fee. And that's legitimate. That's legitimate. You can't, if the payment tool is not working, you can't charge late fees, you know, if you don't want to accept the money order, you know. And so, whatever. I don't know. I get some anxiety about it, but also what I'm going to do is I've covered my bases. I've communicated very well. And so I'm just going to put it out of my mind. I'm going to go to my vacation, going to enjoy it, and then I will deal with all this apartment stuff when I get back, you know. But it's a great apartment. I like it. And though no community is without potential for growth, and there's always areas in which they need to really step up and do things, especially paying more attention to the common areas. And there are amenities that they need to get fixed. But yeah, I'm really excited because May the 2nd, Collective Soul is coming. And oh my God, they do one of my favorite songs. There's a couple of songs that they do that I really love, but yeah, back in the 90s. And so I'm going, you know, May the 2nd. So, yeah. I'm gonna take a little walk. I wanted to kind of, this is the Municipal Auditorium. I don't know where Collective Soul is playing. Probably at one of the casinos. I feel like it was on a casino billboard, but I'll look it up. That's my next big thing. I'll come back. I'll be here by May, because I'm coming back in March. So I will have had enough time to set some money aside. I'm going to that one. And, yeah. I'm the kind of person that if I can't get with people that want to go see shows or concerts or something, that's fine. I don't mind going to do these things by myself. It's really awesome to see people go out and have a good time and go out in a group or something like that, you know. But you know, not everybody enjoys all the same things, you know, so whatever. But Collective Soul, and I just noticed that today, as a matter of fact, and it's like, yeah. So I'm excited. Oh, I'm just speeding all the way through this. Here, let me flip this around. My battery's low. It's not really going to catch a lot of stuff. There's this is the Asian Gardens, uh, Asiana Garden, and they have all these little Asian culture displays, and then they do have an Asian festival that takes place here every year. And they've opened up this Asian festival with yes, it's an Asian festival, we're putting it on, but they've opened it up to other cultures also. And the reason why is because in America, all these cultures live right next to each other. And they acknowledge that it's a communal experience. That Asian and Spanish and Mexican and Creole and just all these different, a lot of African cultures, that they all sort of exist together, and so they welcome people to come and participate in their food and arts fair and everything that they do here, and it's really a quaint little thing. So, I'm already gonna miss the gumbo gladiators. So one thing I'm gonna be a little bit bummed out about, because I do love going there. That is something, because I love good gumbo. Yeah, it's open to go in usually, and then what you do is you buy tickets, and the tickets cost about $1, and you can get a sampling of the gumbo for $2, and you go to all the different booths and you have all the gumbo that you want to have, and then you get to vote on your favorite gumbos, and then whoever wins, there's a few different prizes and everything. It's really good. It's really fun, but it's pretty awesome. It's a big thing around here. If you've never had gumbo, well, if you've ever had French bouillabaisse, let me get out of the street before I get hit. Bouillabaisse is a seafood soup, usually in a brown sauce, a brown gravy with the roux, but sometimes a thin roux, and sometimes not a roux. They think of it as the light changed as I was walking, so I ran over there. So it's like a seafood soup, basically, bouillabaisse. And so gumbo originally is that. But then someone later on came up with, and I forget who the history of this, but someone came up with the recipe of a chicken and sausage based gumbo, and it's called gumbo yaya. That's the recipe. Chicken and sausage gumbo is gumbo yaya. And gumbo it's an African word that means okra, because of the particular flavor that okra brings. And in the absence of okra in the gumbo, there are various things that can be used, because okra is not always around, and so some people swear by, and I do, ground sassafras, which is called gumbo filet, and that's the type of gumbo that I like to make in a very moderately thin, not water consistency, but a moderately thin brown roux. And so that's kind of cool. And then what else? You can use fennel seed, you can use bay leaf, you can use various herbs that have sort of a twist, a twang, or a pungency, and you can substitute out these things. You can, in the absence of an okra or a filet or something, you can mimic those flavors if you mix the chemistry. Now let me go see what's going on at this Capri. They were doing some great shows. I went to see Rocky Horror here, and then not too much. So let's see what they're doing next. Elevate your next event, it says. Just, yeah, I think it's just an event that they're willing to host. So if you want to do something here, that's cool. I hope that more things will happen there, because I did enjoy Rocky Horror. But don't worry about me being scruffy. Look, I haven't bought new blades for my razor yet, so and I'm not really going to worry about it. I'm going to buy those things sometime this week before I go out of town, so they'll all be fresh or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video, and by the time I pick it up, I'll be closer to the river. You know, I want to say it's the Lane building, but it may be the Slatery building. I don't know. Lena's Shoes has been here since I was like a little kid. And my dad managed these buildings on the weekend. He was a weekend custodial. This one, this parking lot right here, used to be the site of a Rico Brewster building. And the property sold. And then I have never seen a building come down so fast and a parking lot be put here. And this was the Rico Brewster building. And let's see this plaque on this one. Francis Bickham building. And so this one is the Lane building. So the Lane building, this one, and the Rico Brewster building, those two buildings, I spent, of course the building is now a parking lot, the Rico Brewster, but I knew those buildings intimately. I knew empty office space. Pano's Diner used to be a tradition. You'd come downtown for any sort of civil business and you'd have to go there. You know, big deal. And then Pano's, they did eventually retire in the 2000 aughts or something like that, you know. But yeah. There was Nan King's, this Asian restaurant down here, Nan King's. People loved to go out, get plastered, and then go to Nan King's about 2-3 o'clock in the morning for fried rice. It was just something that you did sometimes, you know. Some of us way more than what we should have. But Nan King's is not there anymore. So, the family, you know, they retired, you know. So. And of course, you know, that was, yeah, you know, that's life, that's progress, that's change, you know. So, let's see. Okay. Almost to the river. I'm going to pause the video again. You know, I didn't get that first cruise that I wanted to get. It doesn't seem likely that I will, because it's about a week away, and I'll be in Miami. I just won't be on that boat for that first 3-night cruise or whatever, but I'll still get to enjoy myself in Miami beaches and surrounding areas for about the same amount of money. The resorts are about the same, you know. So, you know, and it'll be fun to kind of look around and see what, especially if I go and visit Homestead, where I used to live. I used to live in Homestead around the time of the millennium. I moved there in 2000, stayed there until 2002, almost the holiday season of 2002. And so, yeah, it was interesting, very interesting stay there. If my family wasn't back here, I would have loved to have stayed there a lot longer. Okay, so But it's going to be interesting to go back and visit and see what happened. See, Hurricane Andrew had just demolished that area about 9-10 years, before then. And Hurricane Andrew at that time had been one of the biggest storms seen in the North American continent, and it devastated that town. And people were still traumatized by it. I missed it, the storm itself, but people were like, it's like never, 10 years later, and they were still coming through that trauma. And that was before Hurricane Katrina, before all that. So it was like the first time I'd seen anything like that, the aftermath of something so horrific, but they rebuilt their little nook of the world, and so I'm happy and proud about that. Okay, I'm really close to the river now, and like I said, it's fine if I don't, I'll keep looking. Who knows? Maybe a last minute cancellation or something like that. If not, who really cares? Because I'm going to get the experience that I'm looking for anyway. Okay. Yay. I just have to remember when I'm down in Florida, I need to not go roaming around like I do here at night. Because I know this area, and people know me, and I feel really safe and everything. But in a different city, where you're not familiar in your city, you don't just go roaming around in weird neighborhoods to explore. Like, there's no way I would go, not being known, in a strange neighborhood. I would not go walking around, say, O-Town in Miami. I wouldn't go walking around there in the middle of the night. If I'm not familiar with the neighborhood here in Shreveport, I don't go walking around. I stick to areas that I know. It's just I happen to know downtown. I happen to know Highland. I happen to know Southern Hills. Broadmoor. So even some North Market-y kind of stuff that's on the North Market. On the main, I don't stray from the main areas. That I don't know too well. Certainly not at night. So there, I have not forgotten how to utilize common sense when I'm away from home, and to endeavor to use some street smarts and not be stupid. It seems that they have finally gotten around to turning this fountain off at night during the wintertime. Maybe they're going to turn the waters down during the wintertime. Let some of the lights come on, which is fun. That's kind of cool. So when I was in first grade, we traveled a lot. I started first grade in Bossier City, then we moved all the way down to South Louisiana and moved around the Morgan City areas and Patterson and all that, all through the bayous down there, while Dad was looking for stable work. And I ended up going to J.S. Clark. Wait, was it J.S. Clark Elementary? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I forget. Was J.S. Clark a school here in Shreveport, or was it the school that I went to? I think it was the school that I went to in Amelia, my elementary school. But anyway, that first grade teacher, we had we'd go to her music class, and we'd have music, and she taught us a song, Oh, Senor Don Gato was a cat on a high red roof. Don Gato sat, and it is like he fell off the roof writing a letter and he died. But in the funeral, when it passed to Marcus Square, he smelled fish in the air, and that smell of fish woke him up. Well, sometimes you'll be walking outside, just walking around, and you'll catch a whiff of somebody's been smoking something, probably marijuana, a very distinct smell of some marijuana. Sometimes I can pick up in the air when I'm walking at night, and it's like, okay, somebody's smoking some weed, somewhere, and it carries on the air. And I cannot fathom today I lose sight of the life that I used to live, where that was such a pervasive part of my life that to have me come over was going to be me smelling like weed, even if I wasn't getting high or anything like that. Like all my clothes, everything, it must have. It's such a strong fragrance and aroma that, and it's amazing that that's not the life that I have to live today. I'm still grateful for that. 17 years after I quit getting high, and I'm still having new adventures, and I'm still enjoying my recovery, and I'm still discovering, and there's still adventure through recovery. Even just in discovery, there's still things that I'm discovering after all this time. So that's amazing to me. In real heavy rains, this part kind of floods out and becomes a little pond, and I've seen ducks swimming over here, and birds and stuff. It's been a few years, but there are some videos I have back there of that. I'm gonna pause the video for a minute because there are people down here, and I don't want to accidentally get them in my video. But let's check out this water. I'm gonna walk over to this end. We do all right, for a small city. I tell you what, per capita, we've got more murder than you do. It's the truth. Okay. I don't really have any deep poignancy. I'm kind of like, I'm just out here having some walk for my physical health, and getting out, looking at some mental health, and I'm just occupying myself until it's time to eat. By the time I'll chill out down here for a little bit, and by the time I get home, it'll be close enough to midnight that my diet counts can start over. That's what this walk is about. And I'm not the only one that comes down here in the middle of the night. There are a lot of people that come out here and check things out and walk around, and it's a great, fun thing. It's nice that we have this. These, when they're operable, they have the capacity for LED lights, but I haven't seen LED lights in them for a few years. Well, more than a few years, actually. Like, who knows? Maybe they'll get them. Maybe they'll get them back. And cool. The aquarium is fun. Then the animated lighted bridge with the LED lights, so that's always interesting to check out. I will say I do miss when my friend Rusty lived here and his husband Gillum and some of our other friends. We'd come out and we'd go exploring in a little group, and just we were grown men, but we were a pack of like wild children sometimes, you know, and it was really fun. I miss that grouping, but you know, sometimes people have to move on and follow other parts of their life, and yeah, I still keep in touch with Rusty. Yeah, I went to see him in Kansas City, Missouri, just outside in Parkview, yeah, whatever. We have, not this one, down the way, down the bridge, or actually up the river, I should say, there is an A-frame bridge. And it is an A-frame bridge that was designed, and it's that you walk across or whatever. And there are fundraising efforts to rebuild it because it's unusable right now, but they want to get that functioning again, and I hope that they will. The only other bridge like it in the entire world that I'm aware of, there's one other bridge that's like it, and it is functioning, and it is lit up with LED lights, and you can walk across it. It is in Parkville, Missouri. It is the only other bridge of that type, where it's an A-frame, not unlike this, bracketed metal beams and everything like that, but it's an A-frame. And the particular design, it's brilliant, and it's in a small park, and it goes over a stream, and it's great to walk over. And way back a few years ago, when I went to visit my friend Rusty in Parkville, I think there's some video of that bridge. And then the one that's far up river, it's not practical to go to it and take video, but it's there. It's the only other bridge of its type. The framework is there. They're trying to get it repaired, and that would be a wonderful thing if they could, because it's a preservation of a type of architectural history, of a bridge history that, you know, only one will remain if it's not there anymore. And I don't know the full story of it, and I love when the pattern's about to start over, or the bridge lights are about to go to sleep for the night, because we get this interesting little show. Let's check it out. See what happens. I don't have that much battery life left. I keep closing the battery, keep stopping the video, and hoping to preserve the battery. But if I should lose power, I want to say to you right now that I love you, and God bless, love and light, and good night. Good night.